Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the podcast that is wondering where Steven Seagal was when Raw was under siege. It's Lost in the Midcard. Welcome. We're 1 day late. Matt was a little under the weather on Wednesday, so we're recording on Thursday for your Friday listening pleasure. We're going to talk about lots of things in the WWE and around the world. And again, more people leaving Impact, our weekly segment. And, of course, the Under Siege segment of Monday Night Raw. And what happened on SmackDown Live after that. We'll get into that. That'll be an interesting debate, sure enough. But thank you to SpiderDuck.net for being our host, enabling us to be on iTunes and any of your favorite podcasting apps. All you got to do is search for Lost in the Midcard. And hit that subscribe button. That way you know every time a new episode comes your way, typically every Thursday and most Mondays after a WWE pay-per-view. You can also subscribe to us on the YouTube, and the links to all that on our Facebook page, facebook.com/lostinthemidcard. Go to the notes section there for the links, and also on our pinned tweet at LITMC Podcast, where we share a lot of stuff in the wrestling world as well. I am your host, Jeremy Bennett. You can find me on the Twitter at JBHuskers. As always, my co-host, he is on the Twitter at Raw F Showtime, fresh off of winning the Royal Rumble. It is Mr. Matt Black. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. Unfortunately, I thought I was just doing an interview with Renee, and I could end the week. But the WWE Champion chose to interrupt my interview, and now we're brawling backstage, and I'll be able to shut this off once that's over with. Because you never know what's going to happen in my career in WWE 2K18.
Who's the champion right now?
AJ Styles.
Oh.
So, yeah, we are brawling backstage like a bunch of maniacs. And, yeah, under the weather would be a good way to put it. I had the migraine from hell yesterday, and I'm just glad that it's gone, and I am ready to talk about that crazy sport that we all love in professional wrestling. And this is gonna be a good show, JB. You already know that. We most certainly don't agree with the Siege of Under.
Yeah, well,
and when we get to that topic, I have a feeling this is gonna be a pretty electric show, and we have nobody here to moderate us, so it might get a little crazy.
First off, let's kick things off with what we expect to happen sooner or later. Ever since all of the Global Force Wrestling naming had been removed from Bound for Glory, you probably thought it was going to be the end for Jeff Jarrett, and it was on October 23rd. Impact Wrestling made it official. On the Twitter, Impact Wrestling announced today that it has terminated its business relationship with Jeff Jarrett and Global Force Entertainment effective immediately. And that prompted some people.
That's the first thing they've done right since they've owned the company. Good for them.
It only took them 11 months to do it, right?
Yeah.
And immediately, Rebby Hardy responded with a GIF.
Oh, did she? I didn't even see this.
With a GIF of someone saying, "And I'm at peace with that."
That's funny.
Hurricane Helm said, good luck moving toward the future at Impact Wrestling. Progress only moves in one direction. Looking forward to the pay-per-view. Basically insinuating that getting rid of Jarrett equals progress.
Well, I think it does.
And EC3, well...
I still think the company's dead, but I think I guess the best way I could put this right now, they just tried to put out a fire with a can of beer.
What?
You know, because no matter how hard they try right now, you're not putting out this fire. It's too big.
Did they use one beer?
I don't know. Why don't we ask Jarrett?
2 beers? Yeah. Right?
Oh, no, I didn't.
And EC3, well, glad I didn't go through with that GFW tattoo on my chest.
Yeah, that's probably a wise career decision.
Jarrett came back to Impact Wrestling when Anthem took over in January of this year. In June, they reported that Impact had acquired Global Force Wrestling. And not more than about 2 months later, Jeff Jarrett had to take an indefinite leave of absence from the company. And here we are in October. That clusterfuck's over with. So, yee.
I was officially done with the company when they lost Taryn Terrell again. So they just keep on piling on the shit train that is TNA, Global Force, Impact, Anthem, Al Wrestling at this rate. It's just, dude, if by this time next year, when we're talking in October 2017, if this company is still around in any way other than on the tape library of the WWE Network, I will be shocked. I really, really will.
Yeah. So as Matt said in our weekly segment of This Week in This Week in I'm Not in Impact Anymore, former Knockouts champion Taryn Terrell is gone from the company. She returned to the company this year after departing in 2015, stating that she, because of her religious beliefs and that the company was not the right fit for her anymore, and then she returned in 2017. She announced on Twitter, Impact and I are mutually parting ways. Actually, the company said that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
AKA, we can't afford to pay her anymore, so we have to let her go. That's my opinion.
You think enough time's passed where she could go back to the WWE? And
if Drew wasn't there, I would say yes.
That stuff's been 10 years ago, though. So.
I know, but I have a feeling, like, I know the reasoning they gave last time that she left the company, but I still feel the reason she left the company last time was because of the fact Drew was there. And I just can't...
Talking Impact in 2015?
Yes.
Yeah.
Correct. So, and like, it's going to be really hard to convince me otherwise that that's the reason, that wasn't the reason that she left last time. And I would love her to get another shot in WWE because she grew so much in Impact that I feel like she could go there and really make a big impression, be it NXT or the main roster. But I just feel like as long as Drew's there, I don't see it happening. Like, maybe if Drew gets called up to, like, Raw or SmackDown and they could bring her into NXT, like, kind of keep them separated. I don't know.
And we're just segueing our way around here. Drew McIntyre news now.
I'm not doing this on purpose, folks.
We're just chaining news one after the other. It has been announced that the night before NXT TakeOver Houston or NXT TakeOver War Games, Adam Cole will challenge Drew McIntyre for the NXT Championship in San Antonio, Texas, with Shawn Michaels as the special guest referee. So, It
ain't happening. They're not changing the title the day before that takeover. It's not happening.
For those going to...
I wish they would, because that'd be more interesting than seeing Almas challenge for anything. But I just don't see it happening.
For those who are going to be in the New Orleans area WrestleMania weekend, thinking about going to Supercard of Honor, one of the biggest stars in New Japan Pro Wrestling is confirmed to be there. Kenny Omega will be at Supercard of Honor 12 in New Orleans. So some good news there. And tickets go on sale for those pretty soon, I think. But Supercard of Honor at UNO Lakefront Arena in New Orleans, Louisiana, 7:30 on Saturday, April 7th. For those that don't want to go to TakeOver. And
idiot.
Yeah, exactly. 2 weeks after being released from the WWE, Jimmy Jacobs now billed as unprofessional Jimmy Jacobs, has been announced for dates.
That's so fucking funny.
It is awesome. Has been announced for dates with Beyond Wrestling and Combat Zone Wrestling as well. And yes, unprofessional Jimmy Jacobs. I love it. I love it. So he'll be appearing in Combat Zone Wrestling on November 11th. And the next night, it'll be Somerville, Massachusetts for Beyond Wrestling. So, for those wondering about Tribute for the Troops this year, the special will air on the USA Network Thursday, December 14th, according to Mike Johnson at PW Insider. They're going to film the special on December 5th as part of the SmackDown live taping at the Valley View Casino Center in San Diego, California. So, ratings for the week. Impact's ratings are down.
Really?
I wonder if they'll bounce.
I'm so surprised.
I wonder if they'll bounce back up now that Jeff Jarrett's gone, because this is actually as of last Thursday. So,
yeah, I don't really think his absence will impact it in any way.
Slight drop from 279 down to 267, and that's hundreds of thousands. Well, maybe that might just be 267 people watched that. I don't know. Apparently, Kurt Angle got some people excited as Raw had a very sizable boost. Nearly 300,000, almost hit the 3 million mark on this week's Raw. 2.953 million, up from 2.688 million the week prior. A huge 3.3 million tuned in for hour number one.
Yeah, and that was the problem, as people saw how the product was booked throughout the night. People tuned out. But if you look at hour three's numbers, they were abysmal.
Yeah, 2.5 million. But apparently Under Siege got people interested in SmackDown Live, as SmackDown Live took a big boost as well. They jumped up 340,000 from the previous week, up to 2.699 million, up from 2.32 the week before. So both of the big shows for the WWE with great increases following the TLC pay-per-view. The current lineup for the December 15th final Battle pay-per-view in New York City right now appears to be ROH champion Cody Rhodes to take on Dalton Castle. Finally, Dalton Castle in a main event, as he is deservedly so. I think we mentioned on the show last week, Matt, didn't we mention about the Bully Ray thing being a work now?
I don't remember if we mentioned it on the show, but I remember DMing it to you that it's clearly a work now, and based on the tapings I think that were done in Philly.
Yeah,
I think there's no way, but what they did at that time, and I don't know if we're spoiling it here, and I kind of don't want to spoil it for people.
On the card,
just I feel like the way that they did it, there's no way that this is a shoot anymore.
Well, no, he's on the card. Bully Ray and Tommy Dreamer are going to take on the Briscoes.
Has that been officially announced?
Mike Johnson. I guess these are minor spoilers, but
yeah, I don't think that's been officially announced yet.
Yeah, it looks like I just saw the spoiler thing for Mike Johnson. So sorry if you watch Ring of Honor, but Addiction against War Machine, Jay Lethal, Marty Scurll, and then for the TV title, Silas Young, Shane Taylor, Punishment Martinez, and Kenny King. Matt, you remember Mata from Tough Enough?
Barely.
Yeah, it looks like he is going to be in the new Aquaman film. Mata was in the 2014 season of Tough Enough. I think that was the one where Hogan got let go in the middle of it, right?
Yes, correct.
I can't remember how far Mata made it in Tough Enough, but I thought he made it fairly far. But he's going to be in the Aquaman movie that's set to be released next December. Congrats to Miz and Maurice. They had themselves a lavish celebration. I don't know what the Miz was being dressed up as. Maybe he's a Christopher Daniels fan.
No, it was Cinderella and Prince Charming.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm still gonna go with he's a Christopher Daniels fan. Maybe it's because Miz is a ring general too. But it's a girl. They announced on Instagram with a very lavish little ceremony. Great stuff there. So congrats to the Miz and Maurice. It's a girl. For those that might have heard, Kevin Owens left the South American tour to be with his family. But Kevin did post on Twitter that he's not sick, not hurt. Family needed him home. Thanks to the WWE and fans for their support and understanding. And then Kevin's wife also posted on Instagram, thanks for all the kind messages. One of the toughest weeks of our lives. We're okay now. This guy traveled halfway around the world to get back to us. I don't know what I would have done without him. Best husband and dad we could ever ask for. And Kevin was at SmackDown this week as well. Very interesting tweet from Daniel Bryan. Just after the TLC pay-per-view. There was a time when the WWE wouldn't let Kurt Angle compete. Tonight he won a pay-per-view main event in a TLC match. Hashtag, so you're saying there's a chance.
So you're saying if there's not a chance, I'll be in Ring of Honor in less than a year.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And oh my God, if just imagine if Punk loses this next fight and he decides to go back. Just imagine if Bryan and Punk go to Ring of Honor.
And you're talking pipe dream, aren't you?
Yeah, I am. But hey, so you're saying there's a chance?
Yeah, I'm saying there's no chance.
There's so much that's been going on lately, Matt. What have you heard, and what do you think is true with the whole Nia Jax situation with WWE?
I think Sports Illustrated's full of shit. And I really think the truth lies more on what Meltzer's reporting than Sports Illustrated.
What did Meltzer report?
That basically it requested personal time off.
Yeah.
And that she never really walked out of the show.
Yeah, I heard. And, I heard rumors that the I can't remember who said it. Might have been Lawler. I can't remember off the top of my head, so don't quote me. But somebody just recently said that they don't believe she had ever went to The Rock to leave his advice and to walk away or whatever.
Yeah, I have no idea. But honestly, Sports Illustrated's reported a lot of bullshit to me over the last few months that have turned out to be false. I really don't think whoever's working for SI does a really good job with their sources, and I think they just report whatever BS they're fed and pass it off as legitimate news. I don't believe I don't believe Sports Illustrated on this one. I really don't.
Sources. Who needs sources? William Regal with a great series of tweets following an amazing TLC match between AJ Styles and Finn Balor. Regal said, when wrestlers say, but we had a cold match, no story, I always say that of course you've got a story. You have to beat that person across the ring from you, or you can't feed yourself. Anything else you get to work with is a bonus. The match was a perfect example of two competitors trying to win. Please remember, at the end of the day, we're portraying professional fighters, and your job is to win. And therefore, I read someone saying, yes, but there's stars, etc. Thousands of talents who aren't yet stars wrestle in front of a new audience every night and can win over a crowd with a competitive match. No excuses. What'd you think of Regal's statements there, Matt?
Regal knows what he's talking about.
Yeah.
You know, it's just that's the facts, Jack.
Jack.
You know, yeah. Look, anybody can try to tell me Balor and AJ didn't tear the fucking house down.
Woo, that was some good stuff, man.
You know, sometimes a great wrestling match is just a great wrestling match.
Yep.
And I really think people at some points want to read way too much into it. To me, they did the best they could give us on 48 hours notice. And I really think people at some points want to read way too much into it. To me, they did the best they could give us on 48 hours notice.
Mm-hmm.
And I just don't have a problem with it at all.
No, that was an amazing gift they gave us under the circumstances. Then we got a little more backstage stuff from TLC. According to Mike Johnson of PW Insider, the idea for Angle to compete was first proposed internally on Thursday before TLC, when WWE realized Reigns was not going to be able to compete. We've been told adding Angle to the match was a Vince McMahon idea. Sources indicate that while Angle had previously checked out by the WWE when he was initially brought back to the company, he was given a physical on Friday in Pittsburgh to make sure he was medically fit to compete. As soon as Angle was given the thumbs up, WWE made the official announcement minutes later, and literally it was a down.
I heard that shit was ready to post.
Yeah.
The second they got the word that he was medically cleared, like they just hit send. There it goes. Yep. It's up.
Yep.
We already had it ready. We just had to get that. We had to get that thing going.
And my initial thing when I read that on Friday was, who hacked the WWE? This makes no sense. Who hacked him? Who hacked him? And also, Angle being in the ring, one-time attraction, but the door is wide open going forward. And I think, A, his performance, B, the reaction of the crowd, C, the ratings spike for this week, I think it got people excited. You agree, Matt?
Yeah. My only worry is they're going to give us too much too soon, and I already feel like Kurt and Shane are going to be captaining Raw. Are going to be captaining the teams Raw and SmackDown.
But at least it's a 5-on-5 match where Angle.
I know, but man, we just saw Shane fall off a fucking cell.
Of course, wasn't it?
And now he's going to be in the ring again next month.
Of course, wasn't it Survivor Series that Reigns about killed Shane?
Yes. And if you think Reigns ain't going to be in this match, you're on crack. I've heard Reigns will be back before Survivor Series.
Word is he may not be back until the week before, and they don't want to write him in. But that's word. That's just word right now. So.
Yeah, I don't know. I heard he'd be back in time for Survivor Series.
Yeah, I heard that it'd be just literally the week before, and they weren't going to bother writing him in. But I don't know. We'll see. Regarding,
will always make time for the big dog.
True. Regarding the two sweet between AJ Styles and Finn Balor after their amazing match at TLC, AJ Styles took to Twitter and said, "Vince had nothing to do with the two sweet between Finn and I. In fact, I say it was two men showing the world that we haven't forgotten where we came from. Forever, we will love our BC brothers."
Too sweet, me brother.
Yep.
Speaking of which, the cease and desist T-shirt.
Did they get a cease and desist on the cease and desist?
No, it is going to be in Hot Topic stores this December.
Nice.
So if you did not want to buy from Pro Wrestling Tees and you just want to go out to the store and support the Young Bucks, that cease and desist shirt will be available at Hot Topic stores this December, which I think is really fucking cool.
For those that want a too sweet Christmas gift, there you go. WWE is getting into the esports realm. ESPN reporting that they are one of many investors to help raise $25 million in funding for Cloud9, an esports organization. Chief Financial and Strategy Officer George Barrios told ESPN, "We just looked around the space and looked at all the players, did our own evaluation of who we thought would be successful in the long term, and we thought the Cloud9 team had developed lots of expertise. And we're just really, really impressed with Jack, the CEO, Jack Etienne, the CEO of Cloud9, and the rest of the staff, how professional they are, how organized, and how much infrastructure they have built for a small organization. We thought they were on their way. We looked at a lot of players, and they were the ones that we put on the top tier." So good stuff there. Kind of wonder.
Hopefully they're more successful than Tal.
Yeah, Tal. You gotta wonder if the success that Xavier Woods has had with Up, Up, Down, Down. You kind of wonder if that kind of led them in this direction, Matt.
Oh, I truly think Woods has a lot to do with this. Mm-hmm. I think he's the driving force behind all of this happening. I definitely think that if it wasn't for Woods, that none of this would be happening right now.
We are just a little over a week away from the debut of the 30 for 30 for the Nature Boy Ric Flair on ESPN. They had a premiere in New York City the other night and also one tonight in Atlanta. Very cool photo the WWE posted of Undertaker and Flair posing for a photo. And man, I don't know if you saw. I think you saw that picture. I DM'd it to you. Flair's definitely looking a hell of a lot better, isn't he?
Yeah, Flair's looking good, man. It's just I'm hearing that that special's kind of rough.
Yeah, well,
like if you're a fan of the Nature Boy, it's a pretty rough watch.
There's a lot.
They don't hold back any punches. Let me put it that way.
Well, there's a lot of ups and a lot of downs. I mean, losing your son, the plane crash, a lot of ups and downs in the life of Ric Flair.
Well, you ain't lying.
Lots of interviews in this, of course. Guys including Triple H, Hulk Hogan, Ricky Steamboat, Baby Doll. Was she like a valet in NWA?
She was definitely involved with Flair in. I can't remember if it was NWA or WCW, but yeah, she's definitely done some stuff with Flair back in the day.
Tully Blanchard, Undertaker, Arn Anderson, Shawn Michaels, Sting, Road Warrior Animal, and his first wife Leslie Jacobs. So a lot of people interviewed for that special. November 7th is when that premieres. And for some reason, I had the Impact Wrestling report up. I don't know why. I think it was when I was copying and pasting the headline that I was laughing at with you.
Yes, because you threw that to me in the DM. Yeah, we're not talking about Impact.
No, no.
Only the problems that they suffer from.
I was just baffled when that came up, and I'm like, oh yeah, okay. I was like, why is this up? Get away from me, Impact!
Stop staring at me, Swan.
And we are fast approaching the 25th anniversary of Monday Night Raw. Amazing. It's been around for that long and still hanging around. I believe on about 1,200. I think this Monday's episode's 1275.
Craziness.
If I remember right. Lots of stuff going to happen to commemorate the 25th anniversary of Raw. The January 22nd edition of Raw will be themed for the anniversary, and it'll be held at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York. Just a quick subway ride away from the Manhattan Center, where the very first Raw took place.
Appropriate.
And also a 25th anniversary DVD set is set to come out as well. Expected to probably be fairly similar to the 15th and 20th anniversary sets, with some new stuff over the last 5 years. But probably expect an old school style Raw on January 22nd. Trip down memory lane. Maybe we'll see that amazing main event from the first ever Raw. You remember the main event from the first ever Raw, Matt?
It was like Taker against Damian Demento.
Oh, good job. Yeah, that was the main event. It lasted like 2.5 minutes. So, Shawn Michaels took on Max Moon for the Intercontinental Championship. Max Moon took Shawn Michaels to an 11-minute match for the Intercontinental title.
Fucking Conan.
Yeah. Well, the Bullet Club.
Now all he could do is cut shitty promos in TNA.
Oh, that's right. He's with the LAX now again, huh?
Yeah.
Well, they killed him off in Lucha, so. The only wrestling promotion on television that kills people off. Well, they're
gonna have to kill a whole bunch of people off if they expect to do another season.
Yeah. Well, the finale was last week, and they left us with a cliffhanger as somebody got shot, was bleeding out to end the end of the season. So, still no word on season 4 yet, though. But
because it ain't happening.
It took 10 years to get season 3 aired.
The only reason they delayed it so long is they didn't want their talents leaving.
Oh yeah, let's segue into that. Ultima Lucha finally finished the season 3 last Thursday or last Wednesday the 18th, and Ricochet took to Twitter and said, "The clock starts now." Wink, wink.
I don't blame him. He's playing everything by the book because he's one of the guys that are going to WWE.
Yeah.
So the other guys who jumped to TNA were like, "Fucking A! If you got any money left, try and sue us." Yeah. Because they don't have any damn money left, so they're not too worried about it.
As evidenced with Matt Hardy being more and more broken every time we see him.
Oh no, I meant if the people that jumped to TNA are basically telling Lucha Underground, if you want to try to sue us for breach of contract, go right ahead, but you don't have any money to do it. Yeah. So, and even though WWE ain't gonna mess with that stuff, WWE were like, well, even so, we still want you to sit out and honor that contract.
Yeah.
And that's exactly why.
They would ask the same of their guys.
Ricochet is still waiting around.
They would ask the same.
He's clearly going to WWE.
Yeah, they'd ask the same of their guys, kind of like most recently Simon Gotch. He sat out.
Soon to be Neville. He's gone, dude.
Yeah, I know.
Accepted
they removed him from the 205 Live opening. So
once they removed him from the openings, I'm like, he's gone. He's gone. There's no coming back now.
Are the Bullet Club teasing us, or is there something to this? Bullet Club members Marty Scurll and the Young Bucks teasing that a couple of mega-time WWE Hall of Famers could be appearing at Wrestle Kingdom 12 this January 4th. Marty Scurll said he would love to have Stone Cold Steve Austin for his wrestling entrance at Wrestle Kingdom. He didn't say him by name, but he said, I have a different legend in mind. One that I've met on a podcast, one who likes to drink a little beer, raise a little hell, put up the middle finger, but I don't want to ruin any surprises. My lips are sealed.
Yeah, okay, Marty.
When he said a different wrestling legend in mind, that was in reference to the Young Bucks, saying they would love Hulk Hogan to join them for their entrance at Wrestle Kingdom. And
I think that'd be great.
Matt said, I'd love to welcome Hulk in. He's honestly one of my favorite wrestlers of all time, so working with him in any capacity would be fun. Nick said, I'd love to have him walk us down the aisle at the Tokyo Dome with the three of us playing air guitar. That would be a dream come true.
Dude, it'd be fucking dope, man.
It would, man. I would love that. I think that would be so cool. Yeah, I think the Hogan thing is likely more. It's more likely than Austin doing it. I think.
I definitely feel like it's a lot more likely that you would see Hogan in that spot over Austin. And at the same token, if they're legitimately serious, if WWE gets a wind of this, those guys are going to get some contracted money offers from the company to keep them from doing this.
Oh, look, the Stone Cold podcast is back.
The Stone Cold podcast is back. All of a sudden, Hulk Hogan's back on WWE TV on the road to the Royal Rumble. All of a sudden, all these things are, happening for these two guys. Like, if they're legit serious, I can definitely see that happening. I really can.
Do you think this is all kind of spearheaded by the Bucks, just to kind of rub it in the nose of the WWE ever since all the cease and desist stuff and Jimmy Jacobs and all that?
Probably, and honest to God, I don't blame them.
I don't either.
I don't blame them a bit.
Only one match has been announced for
WWE's butthurt because they did something WWE did to their competition back in the day.
Yeah.
And it's just it's so childish on the part of McMahon and company. It's ridiculous.
Unprofessional Jimmy Jacobs. Only one match is announced for Wrestle Kingdom 12 so far. IWGP Heavyweight Champion Kazuchika Okada will take on Tetsuya Naito, who was also a former champion. So That'll be a good match. Dummy, yeah. Dave Meltzer is reporting that there is a new tag team that is going to form on SmackDown Live for the foreseeable future. I have mixed emotions on it, but according to Meltzer, the WWE is going to pair Aiden English and Rusev as a tag team going forward. There was supposed to be an 8-man tag on this week's edition of SmackDown Live that got cut. I fully expect it to probably be on this coming week's show. But it was Rusev and English with Benjamin and Gable to take on the New Day and the Usos. And Matt, you probably share the same mixed emotions that I do with this pairing.
Look, if it's actually going to lead to a legitimate push for Rusev, I'm all for it. But, if he ain't going to get anything, it's just it's ridiculous.
The push should be within the tag division.
Well, who cares where it is? Okay. As long as he's getting a push.
Are they starting to slide Gable and Benjamin kind of heelish?
I don't really understand that because they're like all of a sudden the Usos and the New Day are having a truce and I'm sorry guys, I'm not cheering for the Usos. I don't give a damn who the Usos are facing. I'm going to be cheering for whoever's facing the Usos.
Are you trying to say that your day one is not H? And this one's interesting. Just days after the cease and desist came down from the WWE, 2K decided to reach out to the Young Bucks to ask them to do motion capture for WWE 2K19. Great timing, 2K. Do they not read the headlines or something, Matt?
Yeah, Bucks turned them down.
Yeah, Bucks. Does 2K not read the headlines? They not realize.
Look, 2K are not the sharpest knives in the drawer. So, I mean, honestly, a lot of the people that work for that company aren't even wrestling fans. So, it doesn't surprise me at all that they would do something like that. It really doesn't. I am not in any way surprised. I wish I could say that I was surprised, but I'm not. You would be surprised.
You would be surprised if they accepted the deal.
I would have been more surprised after everything had happened if they had done it. Because to me, I don't feel like the Bucks need the money, so it would have been a legit surprise to me if they had done that.
The main reason why they were asked is because so many people create them in the game, and so 2K wanted to record their movesets. We could have done it. We could have had a Meltzer driver.
There's already a Meltzer driver in the game. It's very, very similar to what they do.
Oh, okay.
It was actually in the DLC pack for 2K17 as a tag team finisher. It's very similar to the Meltzer driver. They just don't do the flip. So they position with the tombstone. The other guy jumps on the ropes and comes in and hits the move. So
NXT this week, we kick it off with the debut of the tag team that we've been all waiting to see. Oni Lurkin and Danny Burch. They took on Tino Sabatelli and Riddick Moss. Fairly good match between these four gentlemen. What do you make of Moss and Sabatelli going over on these guys? Is it just kind of a what kind of thought process are you seeing through creative on this? Or is it these guys are kind of new to teams, so they just aren't on the same page yet? Or
I would guess that's their reasoning. Honestly, it didn't make a whole lot of sense to me, but
I was surprised.
Whatever.
And I don't hate Sabatelli and Moss. I think there's potential there. I mean, there's not much there yet, but I think they work well as a team. I don't hate them. And the mini feud they had with Gargano, I thought that was fine. I'm not blown away by any means, but I think they're a good hand in the ring. I think they're a decent team. So, Battle Royal to determine the fourth spot in the Fatal 4-Way at TakeOver War Games. It's so weird. It's say Takeover War Games. I want to say Takeover Houston because it's like the last 10 takeovers have been the city, you know.
Sometimes you got to switch it up.
And if you listen to our spoilers when they taped this, we were wondering how the hell Nikki Cross was in this match. Well, they know what they're doing at NXT. William Regal got on camera and explained why Nikki Cross is in the match. It's because Tainara Conti interfered, causing her to lose the match. So, hey, look, Matt, NXT makes sense when they book.
What a shock.
The participants in the Battle Royal: Vanessa Bourne, Bianca Belair, Sage Beckett, Mercedes Martinez, Candice LeRae, Billie Kay, Nikki Cross, Aaliyah, Santana Garrett, my favorite girl, Dakota Kai, Abby Lath, Lacey Evans, Sarah Logan, Rhea Ripley, Tainara Conti, and Zeta. Some good stuff here from the ladies. I enjoyed the Battle Royal. I thought it was highly entertaining. Does the Final Four kind of give you a glimpse of who they probably are looking at to lead the women in the future? Bianca Belair.
Yeah, maybe.
The veteran Mercedes Martinez. And of course, you got Nikki Cross and Billie Kay. Those were the Final Four. A lot of girls from the Mae Young Classic, and I thought it was a great little battle royal. It was good to see those girls again. Matt, what did you think of that battle royal?
Oh, I thought it was good. I hate the fact that they put Nikki Cross in the way that they did. I wish that she'd have just been a member of the Battle Royal to begin with and won that way. You know, for her to take the pinfall loss earlier and then to get another shot. I didn't like the way it was done creatively. I get where they were coming from, but I'm not a fan of it. But I enjoyed the Battle Royal for what it was. So,
yeah, I hope we see a lot of those girls back with the company. I thought Sage Beckett looked impressive. I thought Mercedes Martinez looked impressive. Candice LeRae, Abby Lath. I really hope some of those girls, stick around in NXT. And in the end, Regal enters the ring with the belt, and Peyton Royce comes out, Ember Moon comes out, and Kairi Sane also comes out. So all 4 women in the match in the ring. We do the interview segment with the paparazzi with Drew McIntyre. He gets interrupted once again by Zelina Vega, waiting for the contract for the title match. And Drew said all Almas has to do is come up to him, look him in the eyes, and ask for a match. Aleister Black makes his way to the ring for a match, but before he can get to the ring, he is attacked from behind by Velveteen Dream. I love how Dream just showed up all of a sudden and just stood there for a minute before he attacked. I thought that was great. Dream tied him up into the ropes and kept yelling at him to say his name and slapping him. He then charged at Black, but Black got a boot up and was able to free himself from the ropes and just missed a Black Mass kick, but Dream was able to avoid it and get out of the ring. I enjoyed that segment a lot, Matt. I've enjoyed the feud. It's a complete contrast in characters, and to me, it's working. What did you think of that segment with Dream and Black?
Well, it's definitely reached a crescendo, as they would put it. I feel like they're gonna have a great match at the show, because I've already seen them work together, and I know that they can have a great match. I think the builds have been good. I don't see any way Velveteen Dream wins, though. But it's definitely been a good overall feud to elevate him up. So we'll see where it goes from here. It'll be interesting. I did enjoy this segment, though.
And match number 3, a rematch from a previous takeover. Andrade Cien Almas takes on Roddy Strong. Amazing main event, much like their takeover match that nobody expected to be great, and it turned out to be one of the better matches of the show. But of course, they're pushing Andrade Cien Almas. He is But how about that? How about that little Hurricane Rana that old Zelina Vega put on Strong there on the outside, Matt?
I just wish they'd let her wrestle.
Yeah, I mean, if you didn't know she could wrestle, now you do. Now you know. That was a pretty sweet move there. I think it's a matter of time, Matt. I think it's once Almas loses his title match, I think it's a matter of time. After the match, the Undisputed Era comes out. Adam Cole tells Roddy that he's not a loser. He needs to join them. And Fish goes, "You know us." Well, yeah. They were kind of in the same company. Cole hands Strong the wristband, and he just stares at it as we head to credits. So now the big question mark is, will Roddy Strong join the Undisputed Era?
Which was a good tease.
Well, it makes sense. They're all Ring of Honor boys, you know?
Yeah, I don't mind the storyline at all.
No. Monday Night Raw live from Green Bay, Wisconsin. Kurt Angle leads the show to a gigantic ovation. A lot of respect for what he did at TLC. Of course, we got the cliched "You Still Got It" chant from Kurt Angle. Well, he never lost it. Check Steel Cage match Cody Rhodes earlier this year.
Yeah, but a lot of people didn't get to see that.
Yeah. Angle said when he was inducted into the Hall of Fame, he didn't think things could be any better, but competing in the ring at TLC, it felt good. And that was last night. Tonight's a new night. And told us about what's going down at Survivor Series. What are your thoughts on Survivor Series being a champion versus champion, Raw versus SmackDown type of deal?
I honestly hate it, and I think it's extremely lazy booking.
Well, yeah,
and I'm not looking forward to this pay-per-view at all.
Because in most cases, a champion's going to lose.
Yeah.
And
there's nothing on the line.
Nothing on the line, but then...
So it's just like, what's the point?
Yeah, nothing on the line, and you have a champion losing clean, probably, and I don't know. I am interested, though, in Miz and Corbin and Usos and Rollins and Ambrose. I think those will be really good and interesting matches that we don't get to see every day. Brock's going to kill Jinder. God, do you imagine if Jinder took him 10 minutes?
Oh, my.
I think Bliss and Natalya will be solid, but I'm not really looking forward to it. But I am looking forward to Miz Corbin and the tag match. For sure. Miz's music starts up. And he's on the ramp with Axel, Sheamus, and Cesaro. Complained about Angle being in the spotlight while this is Miz's show. And Miz telling Angle he should have stayed out of it. Made TLC a 2-on-5 match. Miz said Angle had to make it all about himself, get the spotlight. And he says that Angle doesn't belong in the WWE ring as a superstar or a general manager. And Miz and his buddies get in the ring and surround Angle. That's when Shield's music starts up. Rollins and Ambrose come down. And Angle sets up a match with The Miz, Sheamus, and Cesaro against Rollins and Ambrose. And a guy that decided to stay an extra night, AJ Styles. So what do you think of AJ Styles getting one extra Raw match there, Matt?
Dude, I would like AJ Styles to be everywhere.
Yeah. Well, that 6-man tag was fucking great, wasn't it?
It was great. It is a great way to start off the show. I was enjoying the beginning of Raw.
Was enjoying the beginning of Raw.
I was. And then I stopped enjoying the show.
In the end, Seth and Dean do a double suicide dive to take out Miz and Sheamus. While Cesaro's watching all that, he turns around and eats a phenomenal forearm. The good guys get the win after a great 19-minute match to kick off Monday Night Raw. Kane's music hits while Rollins, Ambrose, and Styles are in the ring, and Kane takes the fight to them. And then the other heels came back into the ring and started beating up on the three good guys. And we come back, and Kane is still in the ring. And is talking about how Braun Strowman was such a monster, throwing show through a cage, Roman Reigns beating him up time and time again. Kane said he wanted to see that monster among men up close, but all he saw was a piece of trash. And said that he saw fear in Strowman that no man has ever caused before. And Kane will be the only monster of Monday Night Raw. So then Kane decides to steal Braun's line that says he wants competition or else. And out comes Finn Balor. And in what was... I don't know what the hell is going on in the minds of creative.
Whoever thought this was a good idea needs to be fired immediately. And if it's Vince, he can fire himself.
Yeah. The dude just beat AJ Styles the night before. I hope to God they aren't making this without the face paint. Balor's a jobber, because that's what they're doing right now, aren't they? Is that how you see it?
Look, I see it as Kane clearly is in a feud with Braun Strowman for Survivor Series.
So they
which goes further to not make any sense, because if I'm Kurt Angle, I want Braun Strowman on my team on Survivor Series. So why the hell would I put him in a singles match when I can have him on my team Raw, to go against SmackDown? So right off the bat, it makes absolutely no sense.
I don't think it's gonna be Survivor Series.
Oh, it's totally gonna be Survivor Series.
No, I think it's gonna be before.
I disagree. And I think it's even worse. At the fact they could have had Kane kill anybody.
Yeah.
Anybody.
Anybody.
But they chose to let him kill Balor.
Yeah.
And it's just like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, it's just unbelievable. Just absolutely unbelievable.
Dave Meltzer reported that management backstage usually defends Vince's decisions. They were dumbfounded at Kane going over Balor. That's telling. Where Meltzer says his sources usually defend Vince, and they couldn't really defend Vince here.
There's nothing to defend.
Nope. I think Strowman's joining Ambrose and Rollins and Angle.
But Ambrose and Rollins are already in the tag team match with Usos.
That's right.
So that's what I said. This whole pay-per-view makes no sense.
God, who's left?
Why would you let them lay out the Shield when they're not even going to be on the fucking Raw team?
God,
that's why I tell you they got no choice but to have Roman Reigns on Team Raw. Who's left? I feel like they're going to get to a point where Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn are somehow going to jump to Raw, and they're going to be on Team Raw against Team SmackDown.
I'll be okay with that.
I don't even know how they're going to do it. But it just seems like that's what they're going to do at this rate. The whole thing's unbelievable, dude. Like, it's really unbelievable.
They could have I don't know. They could have KO calling Stephanie or something to make the trade happen or something. I don't know. Maybe that's how they do it. I don't know.
It's so frustrating to watch this company make mistake after mistake after mistake. It doesn't make any sense. They could have Kane kill anybody. They could have sent Kurt Hawkins out there, and let Kane destroy him. But no, we're gonna beat the guy who we just put over AJ Styles the night before. Like, Like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, it was
like,
ridiculous.
It makes no fucking sense at all. I don't get it, man. Like, I seriously don't get it.
Angle in the office talking on his phone when, lo and behold, Shane McMahon shows up. And Angle asks him how he's doing after Hell in a Cell, and Shane says he's still a little banged up. Praised Angle for his performance at TLC. Angle thanks Shane for letting him have Styles at TLC and on Raw. Angle wants AJ on Raw full time. Shane goes, that ain't gonna happen. And they start talking smack about who's going to beat who at Survivor Series. And at this point, I'm like, oh, yay. Another brand versus brand. Brouhaha. Yay. But the end of Raw got me excited for Survivor Series. I don't think
it did the exact opposite for me. Like, even less excited than I already was.
They show some Green Bay losers in the front row. Blow pack blow. Asuka makes her entrance for her first ever Monday Night Raw match. She faces Emma once again and takes down Emma in about half the time, 5 minutes, with the Asuka lock. And so when Matt said something pissed him off more than Balor losing to Kane, I was like, no way. No, they did not have Emma beat Asuka. Thank God that was not true. Alexa Bliss comes out, cuts a promo how she retained the title against Mickie James. Talks about how she's facing the crazy cat lady Natty. And Mickie James interrupts. And so is this going to be a rematch at like the December pay-per-view before Asuka probably takes her on at Royal Rumble? Or how you feel? How do you think the women's division's shaking out going forward?
I just feel like everything's in line. The Asuka's going to win the title. It's just a matter of when.
Yeah, my gut is Mickie faces her again at whatever. I don't even think they've announced the December pay-per-views yet.
No, I don't think they have either.
They probably face each other again there, and then Asuka and Alexa at the Royal Rumble. That's my gut feeling. And Angle checking out the show when Bayley and Sasha Banks show up, and then crazy Alicia Fox. And Angle says they're going to have a triple threat match to determine who the team captain is. I don't get why they even need a team captain, Matt. Just saying.
I don't know. That's why stuff like that doesn't upset me, because it means absolutely nothing. It's meaningless.
It's time to walk with Elias. He talked some shit to Green Bay, so he's already cool in my book there. And his microphone was having technical issues because, well, Jason Jordan was fucking with it. And eventually, after claiming he's going to beat up the technician that's screwing up, Jason Jordan comes out with a smile on his face. That sets up a match. Elias, Jason Jordan only went about 3 minutes before Elias just clocked the shit out of Jordan with his guitar to continue that feud. Nice little welt on Jordan's arm from the guitar shot, too. I think slowly but surely the crowd is finally getting behind Jordan. Matt, do you see that too?
I would say extremely slow.
Yeah, it seems like
this is not a fast fix.
No.
By any stretch of the imagination.
No, but it does seem like the crowd is getting behind them a little more. So. It is now time for Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman. And as always, Paul Heyman is amazing. Talks about how all the guys that have faced Lesnar over the past year, he didn't talk trash about Goldberg or Samoa Joe or Braun Strowman, but he's going to talk trash about Jinder Mahal. Calls him the make-believe Maharaja and the Sing-Along Brothers. And claims the Singh brothers are stealing his shtick of introducing Brock Lesnar, and says Mahal is not a worthy pretender to the throne of being a WWE champion. And some good stuff from Heyman there, basically calling Jinder a consolation prize champion offered to SmackDown Live when Shane McMahon and Daniel Bryan realized they got the shaft and the Superstar shakeup. Some good stuff there. How long is this match going, Matt?
I don't know.
As long as Brock wants it to? Is that basically?
Look, unless this is some kind of gigantic screw job for Mahal, I can't see this going longer than 2 minutes. Like, if somehow Lesnar gets screwed over and they give Mahal the win, like, I can't, like, if it's not that, I can't see this going any longer than 2 minutes. I really, really can't.
If you were worried about one of the Singh brothers after what Randy Orton did to him, imagine if Lesnar gets a hold of one of the Singh brothers.
He tosses him into the third row.
Be in the rafters with Sting.
Fine by me. Great
promo, though, by Heyman, as always. Alicia Fox, Bayley triple threat with Sasha Banks. Winner gets to be the captain, and somehow Alicia Fox wins. Yeah. Well, see, the captaincy means nothing, so let's just give that to Alicia.
Yeah, that's what I said. It just doesn't matter.
The Zoe train coming out, doing Enzo's little dance. I thought that was awkward, especially seeing Drew Gulak doing the Enzo dance. But I am liking the Arya Daivari pairing with Enzo. We'll talk about that a little more when we get to 205 Live. I'm liking that a little more and more. But the Zoe train taking on Kalisto, Cedric, Alexander Rich Swann, Grand Metalik, and Mustafa Ali. 10-man tag. Went about 9 minutes with the good guys winning when Kalisto hit Salito del Sol on Enzo when Enzo was trying to not get in the action. He was kind of forced into it. And now we're going to hear from Kurt Angle. Angle says that he's excited about Survivor Series. Of course, they said the same line over and over. The only time Raw and SmackDown go head-to-head.
And nobody cares.
Vince loves to hit us over the head with the same fucking line over and over. Just as Kurt was getting ready to introduce the first member of the Raw team, Shane O'Mac's music hits, but he's not on the stage. No. He's up at the top of the crowd in the Shield entrance, and he's got some company, a lot of company from SmackDown Live. Shane had said something to Angle backstage earlier saying, "Under siege," and as Shane stands into the ring staring Kurt Angle in the face with all of the SmackDown roster surrounding the ring, all Shane said was, "Under siege." Angle leaves the ring and Shane tells the blue team to go get him. And that's what the blue team did. They head to the back and beat the shit out of the Monday Night Raw crew. They first found Titus O'Neil and Apollo Crews. There were many memes of Dana Brooke running away. Did you see some of those memes?
Yes.
There's one where she's running in front of Seth Rollins when he's running to cash in the Money in the Bank. There were many, many great ones. So
like that poor girl doesn't get it bad enough from online already.
No, I know. So SmackDown talent went from locker room to locker room. And interesting, Jason Jordan gets attacked by Chad Gable. That was kind of funny. And so they go to locker room, beating up everybody. The Shield, they were hiding, waiting, steel chairs. They tried to attack, but obviously the number games caught up to them. Corbin and Rusev grab Kurt Angle by the arms and tell them to look at Dean and Seth as they're laid out on the floor. They bring Angle out to the ring, Corbin and Rusev, and Shane says, at Survivor Series, I want you to bring your gold medal, what's left of your Raw roster, and we're going to finish what we started. Oh, it's true. It's damn true. And Shane just leaves the ring. SmackDown talent goes through the crowd. And Angle is standing there stunned. And the dumb Booker T moment of the week. He had never seen anything like this in his 26 years in the business, even though Booker T was a part of the WCW invasion.
And he was a part of the entire New World Order run in WCW.
Yeah. My God. Yeah, that didn't take that long for Heel Book to make that meme.
He's a fucking idiot.
Well, Matt, we obviously have different opinions on this.
Oh, yes, we do.
I thought it was great.
It was terrible.
I think your concerns can be it's just gonna. This is a short-term thing.
The concerns could be fixed, but they sure as fuck didn't fix anything on SmackDown Tuesday.
Yeah. Well, why didn't? Let's start with you here. Why didn't you like it?
It was terrible. Shane McMahon is. They basically made the entire SmackDown brand a heel. You know, the entire Blue brand were established as evil, despicable heels. And
you could make the argument that a lot of the faces that were there were kind of off in the background. Like
New Day was front and center, man.
New Day was, yes.
One of the biggest face acts on SmackDown were front and center for all of this. It was badly done. It was not thought through. There was a million logic loopholes that just did not allow this situation to make any fucking sense whatsoever. It was bad, dude. Like it was absolutely bad from start to finish. And it was done for a shock factor, for the sake of a shock factor, without any long-term planning of how they were going to address or fix this. Because if they could, they would have done it the next night, and they didn't, which means they don't have a plan on how to fix this. They have no plan. No plan. None. You know, that's fantastic. Good job, Vince. Because I can always count on you to never have a plan. You fucking dumbass.
Well, I think that stuff, it doesn't need to be fixed Tuesday. I mean, fix it after Survivor Series, because I thought this was great. I mean, I had zero desire to care about a brand versus brand feud, and now I'm more excited about it. Dolph Ziggler gave a good explanation when I think he was questioned by Wade Keller, I think, of PW Torch. Ziggler gave a great explanation of why he was working side by side with Rude. You know, they put their problems aside to come together as a team. He's not his pal by any means, you know. And I thought if there's any damage, it can be fixed. I mean, Nakamura was there, but you barely saw him, you know. New Day, well, the New Day like to stir shit up, so I thought it was fine that they were in this role, and they were hilarious on their little video in the car. As a lot of SmackDown stars did videos posted to social media after the fact with hashtag Under Siege. I thought Baron Corbin's was hilarious, talking shit about the Miz, but. Outside of the New Day, the faces were pretty. Like we said, I think Gable and Benjamin, they're almost making them heels. I thought that was kind of fun to see him attack Jason Jordan. And like I said, the New Day loves to stir shit up.
The whole storyline was about Shane McMahon coming back for vindication for what Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens did to him. And what Shane did with his brand, his roster, was more dastardly despicable than anything KO or Sammy did to Shane on the road to Hell in a Cell. So why the fuck should I give two shits about Shane getting revenge on Kevin Owens or Sami Zayn at this point? Because as far as I'm concerned, I'd rather see Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn beat the shit out of Shane again and send him out on a stretcher. They totally ruined Shane's good guy general manager character on SmackDown. They ruined plenty of characters in the process.
No.
Yeah, they totally did, dude. The fans on Tuesday night were some of the most stupidest fans I've ever heard in a pro wrestling building, who probably didn't even watch Raw because they were too stupid to know how to turn on USA. It was ridiculous. It was awful. It was short-sighted. It was done for shock value for the sake of shock value. There were so many logic loopholes through it that it made my head hurt. And honestly, I have no interest in Survivor Series. And this match pretty much sealed it for me. I don't give two shits about Survivor Series. I might not even watch it live, depending on whatever the Sunday Night Football game is. In November, there's a good chance I'm not even watching the show when it airs. I'll just watch it back on demand on whatever matches people tell me I should check out. And this will probably be my first WWE pay-per-view in forever that I don't watch when it happens. Like, I legitimately have no reason to watch this show. Like, absolutely, positively none.
Well, I think it's weird timing, yes, but if you see the interactions with Shane and Daniel Bryan, I think Shane is turning heel anyways, with the dissension between him and Daniel Bryan, which, my hope is, Daniel Bryan always teases about returning to the ring, and maybe the WWE makes it happen and he takes on Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens with help of someone, but that's just a pipe dream right now. So I think Shane was already borderline, because he's been doing, attacking Owens. Daniel Bryan admonished him for that. There's been some dissension brewing, so this makes a lot more sense than you think here, Matt.
It really doesn't. You're grasping at straws, looking for something that's not there to prove your point.
I don't know.
It's really stupid. It's full of a ton of holes of logic, and honestly, I've been so annoyed about it over the past couple of days. We're getting to the point where it's finally time to talk about it, and I've already passed the stage of wanting to talk about it to the point where I don't even want to talk about it anymore. Like, it's so fucking garbage on so many levels that I don't even want to give it the time of day. Like, I really don't. It's so bad and so stupid that it's going to cause terrible ripple effects within the company creatively in the weeks and months to come. And they don't even fucking realize it because they're too fucking stupid to realize what they did.
Well, I think SmackDown had been stagnant for a while now anyway, so due to lack of creative booking and logic. So, I think this is good. I think it's a shot in the arm. The crowd tuned in for it because they wanted to see if there was going to be an answer. So, SmackDown's ratings got a nice boost compared to the week before. So, obviously, people are interested in it, like myself. And so, I'm actually, I'm more interested in this. What's going to happen with Angle versus Shane?
Yeah, and for all you know, they don't even end up in the match.
Yeah. Well, they're teams, at least, is what I'm saying.
So, what was the point?
205 Live. Did you check this out this week, Matt?
I had it on, but I wasn't really paying attention.
I thought it was a very solid edition of 205 Live. Show kicked off with Swan and Alexander taking on Noam Dar and Tony Nese. And Alexander and Swan get the win. And Alexander once again hitting that lumbar check. Alexander on fire, I think, as Matt said. I think they're pushing him towards the title next. Jack Gallagher and the Brian Kendrick are on the top of the stage applauding Swan and Alexander for the win and said they're here not to fight but to pass the olive branch of peace. Kendrick says that they finally saw something that Cedric Alexander was lacking. They saw cruelty. He showed cruelty backstage, and at TLC they see a world of potential in Cedric. but he'll never reach that potential as long as he carries that dead weight around known as Rich Swann. So they're trying to put a divide between Rich Swann and Cedric Alexander. Matt, I don't think it's going to work because I think they're going to have him take on Enzo here after this is all said and done, don't you think?
You would certainly think so, but, who knows?
Drew Gulak was mad that his PowerPoint presentation got cut at TLC, so he was going to start from the beginning on slide 1, and that's about as far as we got, as Grand Metalik interrupted him, and that set up a match between Gulak and Metalik, which I thought was a very excellent, lengthy match between the two guys, and in the end, Gulak wins with the Dragon Sleeper as he finally starts to get some momentum within the Cruiserweight division after making Grand Metalik tap out. He is continuing to punish Metalik, and Tozawa comes out and makes the save. And in the main event, we got ourselves Enzo and Kalisto for the Cruiserweight Championship. Enzo is still has a case of the laryngitis, so he cannot speak. So Arya Daivari did so for him, and I thought he did a great job. I think Daivari and Enzo Amore have been working well together. And calling himself Daivari De Niro right now. I wonder if another De Niro, his ears perked up once he heard that. He left Impact, didn't he?
I think so.
Is he still wrestling, or did he kind of retire for some reason, or why did he go to the commentary table? Do you know?
Wait, what?
Pope, did he retire from the?
I really don't. I really don't know. I don't know. I don't know hardly any reasonings behind Pope. So, yeah, I really have no clue.
Just as it looked like Kalisto was going to get his Cruiserweight title back, Enzo kicks the referee into the ropes, and referee calls for the DQ, so it looks like Kalisto is not done with Enzo Amore just yet. So, just with the short amount of time that Kalisto's been in the Cruiserweight division, do you think it's been a good addition for the group, Matt?
I mean, it's fine. I mean, they weren't using him by doing anything else, so they might as well throw him in there. I'm surprised Sin Cara isn't over there with them now too, but for some reason he's locked in a meaningless feud with Baron Corbin. So, whatever.
God. Yeah, exactly. Who was thinking that on that one?
Well, the problem is they're not thinking. But
I've been clamoring for a Sin Cara Baron Corbin feud ever since. Never. SmackDown Live from Milwaukee. Michael Cole filling in for Tom Phillips. He's still on that assignment called marriage. I didn't catch this, but the graphic said Tom Phillips instead of Michael Cole. Oops. Shane McMahon comes out to a big ovation, and the fans chanted "Welcome back" as Matt just sat there inside. Shane says he learned at an early age, when you fight, it's better to strike first. So they're willing to give AJ Styles to Raw because he knew exactly what they were going to do. And said Kurt should have been more leery when Shane came to visit. But then Kurt had the audacity to insult SmackDown. And what Kurt didn't know was the SmackDown talent was waiting, which led to Under Siege being unleashed. The fans started chanting Under Siege.
Yeah, and every last one of them are a fucking idiot. All of you.
You're outnumbered here, man.
I don't give a fuck. I don't give a flying fuck. They are... Everybody that fucking chanted Under Siege and cheered Shane McMahon on SmackDown like a conquering hero, you're all a bunch of fucking idiots.
Well, don't you look at it this way, too? Like, on Raw, obviously, Shane would be the heel, and then on SmackDown, Angle would be the heel. Wouldn't you see it that way?
Because the actions were unprovoked and dastardly. This was an act of a heel. Period. This was not a face act by any way, shape, or form. Like, I don't give a damn what brand they were on.
Well, Steve Austin had a lot of heel acts when he was
nothing like this, dude. Nothing like this.
Sami Zayn interrupts Shane O'Mac, and I'm loving the heel Sami. Sami's been great ever since Hell in a Cell. And Sami talks about Hell in a Cell and wants to shake Shane's hand, but Shane says nope. And Shane talked about how he put Shane's health at risk and also added insult to the injury by putting Owens on top of him for the 1-2-3. Shane says, there are a lot of hard feelings. Zayn told Shane that if he was a competitor, then Sami Zayn would take him out in 1 second and leave him hurting worse than what happened at Hell in a Cell. Zayn says that his brother Kevin Owens and him decided they will be a part of the SmackDown Live team at Survivor Series. They're fearless leaders, and the rest of the guys can follow them. Zayn claimed that Shane needs them to be a part of the SmackDown team. And once again says that Sami and Kevin volunteer themselves for Survivor Series. Shane says he doesn't want or need Kevin or Sami representing SmackDown, but they're going to give Sami an opportunity because it's a land of opportunity. If he can beat his opponent, he'll be on the Survivor Series team. Sami wants to know who his opponent is, and it's the Viper, Randy Orton. New Day. This time, Woods and Kingston. They take on Benjamin and Gable in a pretty decent 9-minute match there with the current number one contenders going over, of course. Matt, do you know, are they going to have that match before Survivor Series? Or
what match?
The tag title match. I know they've been teasing how, the titles could change between now and then, shaking up the card.
Yeah, I don't see that happening.
Do you think any titles change hands between now and then? They just want to tease?
Exactly.
Again, the 5 women that are representing SmackDown, I guess being captain is important, so they're going to have a fatal 5-way to determine that. The Fashion Dogs. It's time for the Fashion Dogs parody of course, the Reservoir Dogs. Quentin Tarantino film, a great film. And obviously just a setup for the debut of the Bludgeon Brothers, basically, is what this is going to be. And once again, pretty funny stuff from the guys. Always love the Fashion Files for sure. And they teased that next week's theme will be Stranger things. I wonder when we're finally going to get the Bludgeon Brothers on the show, Matt.
Whenever they're ready to debut them, I guess. I don't know. It seems like they're taking way too long for this to happen. And by the time it finally does, I don't know who's going to be left to care.
As long as they don't take as long as they did with Emelina.
Well, nothing takes that long.
Daniel Bryan and Shane are backstage, and Bryan asked Shane why he did what he did the night before on Raw. And Shane said sometimes he has to make decisions. Bryan understands that Shane's the boss, but they are a team and make decisions together as Bryan walks off. And I still think that they're slowly turning Shane heel anyways. So I think this is where we're leading to that. Baron Corbin, Sin Cara. Went about 3 minutes before Corbin beat the shit out of Sin Cara and not listening to the ref and got DQ'd. And Samir and Samir Singh do the introduction for Jinder Mahal. And he responds to the promo from Paul Heyman on Raw the night before, calling Paul Heyman a used car salesman, and bragged about how he's beaten Randy Orton and Shinsuke Nakamura And these people don't give him respect like the 1.3 billion people of India. Mahal says he is Lesnar's worst nightmare. I'm sure Matt fell off his chair laughing when he said that. And that sets up AJ Styles killing Samir Singh in about a minute with the calf crusher. And we'll repeat that next week as well. I honestly think, Matt, Jinder's going to get smoked by Lesnar, and that's just going to start a downward spiral where he loses the title to AJ. And then all we need is Nakamura to win the Rumble. And our plan is in place, Matt.
Well, it's one of the few good things that this company can actually do. So let's see how they fuck that up, too.
Ha! Yeah. Who could win the Rumble that would piss you off? I don't know. Sin Cara. I know what would piss you off. I know what would piss you off. Who would win the Rumble? Heath Slater.
Shut up.
That was a joke from earlier because Matt got eliminated by Heath Slater in the video game. He's got kids though, man. He's got kids, Matt.
You're hilarious. You're so funny. You're funny gay.
Sami Zayn in the locker room. Kevin Owens shows up, says he also has a qualifying match next week for the Survivor Series team. He has to face Nakamura. And Zayn says, perfect, we can both qualify and lead SmackDown to victory. Or not. Daniel Bryan in the office, Jinder Mahal, pissed off, walks in and demands that Samir take on AJ next week. So Bryan said, yep, go ahead. Fatal 5-way to determine the captain for the women on SmackDown Live. In the end, Carmella was left in the ring all alone with Becky Lynch, and Lynch trips her up and hits the disarmer. A very quick Fatal 5-way, only about 7 minutes. Cool with the winner there. I mean, Becky Lynch is kind of the Team Blue standard, so that made sense to me there.
When Alicia Fox is the team captain of Raw, it really didn't matter who was captaining SmackDown.
Yeah, when that happened, I thought Tamina was winning this match.
Wouldn't have surprised me.
Yeah.
Really wouldn't have. Like, it really, after that point, it really just didn't matter.
Dolph Ziggler being interviewed by Renee Young after another Bludgeon Brothers promo. And this leads to a 2 out of 3 falls match next week with Rude and Ziggler. I think it'll be a pretty solid match there, Matt. 2 out of 3. I'm sure you're probably not looking forward to it, are you?
I'm really not. Not even a little bit.
I think it'll be a good match at least. And Owens and Nakamura, I think we are setting ourselves up for a good SmackDown next week. Randy Orton, Sami Zayn, main event of SmackDown Live. Matt, what'd you think of this match between these two guys?
It went exactly how I expected it to go. So, I mean, the match itself was good. So,
I love the ending when Orton got his revenge and hit Zayn in the ding ding, and then just held him up there staring at Owens and dropping him with an RKO. I love that moment. That was pretty cool. So, Sami Zayn is not going to be on Team Blue. Randy Orton is. He gets the win. So you probably assume Nakamura probably beats Owens and then they defect to Raw or something like that. Or at least screw SmackDown somehow.
Or somehow still end up on SmackDown anyway. I mean, I don't fucking know. Like, nothing they're doing right now makes any sense. So, like, why does it even matter?
That's going to do it for this edition of Lost in the Midcard. Thank you to SpiderDuck.net for being our host, enabling us to be on iTunes and any of your favorite podcasting apps. Make sure you do a search for Lost in the Midcard. Hit that subscribe button. Tell all your friends to do the same. And that way you'll know every time a new episode comes your way, every Thursday and most Mondays after a WWE pay-per-view. You can also subscribe to us on the YouTube. The links to all that on our Facebook page, facebook.com/LostInTheMidcard, and also on our pinned tweet on the Twitter at LITMC Podcast. Matt's on the Twitter at RawFShowtime. I'm on the Twitter at JBHuskers. And before we head off into that sunset for this week, Matt, what are your final thoughts?
Under Siege was shit.
Under Siege was great.
Shit.
Great.
Shit.
See you next week.